After Iran vowed to revenge Israeli airstrikes on its military facilities and factories, Iran has so far fired about 200 drones towards Israel. Israel has said that it is intercepting the Iranian drones over Syria. Videos posted on social media appeared to show Iranian drones in skies above Iraq, apparently en route to Israel. Now, both Iraq and neighboring Jordan announced that they had closed their airspace as precautionary measure after Israel's strikes on Iran. Israel launched a major attack in Iran in the early hours of Friday, claiming it had taken action because the Islamic Republic had begun to build nuclear warheads. And Iran's retaliatory strike on Israel has now been preempted by Israel, which has intercepted many drones which were fired by Iran in the wee hours of this morning. About 200 drones were fired towards Israel. Israel said that it has intercepted all the Iranian drones. In fact, according to videos that were posted on social media, Iranian drones were seen on skies above Iraq. They were en route to Israel. They were intercepted near Jordan. The overnight tensions between the two countries has now escalated, with Iran now retaliating to those strikes.
That's why I'm once again asking you to strictly follow the guidelines of the Homefront Command. It's very possible that you will need to stay in protected spaces for an extended period of time, much longer than we've been used to until now. Please make sure to stock up, as I'm sure you're already doing, with supplies, food, clothing, and more. But above all, stock up on patience, on faith in the justice of our cause, and in confidence in our victory. There's a reason we named this operation Rising Lion, a people that rises up as a lioness, and as a lion lifts himself up. We are going to achieve many great accomplishments, thanks to you, and thanks to our heroic soldiers.
בשעות האחרונות, איראן שיגרה מעל 100 כלי טיס בלתי מאוישים משטחה לעבר שטח מדינת ישראל. כלל מערכי ההגנה פועלים לירות האיומים. חשוב לשמור על הנחיות פיקוד העורף, הן מצילות חיים. זהו אירוע שונה ממה שחווינו עד כה. עוד צפויות לנו שעות קשות. יש לגלות חוסן ואורך רוח.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before, steps to weaponize this enriched uranium. And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival. 80 years ago, the Jewish people were the victims of a Holocaust perpetrated by the Nazi regime. Today, the Jewish state refuses to be a victim of a nuclear Holocaust perpetrated by the Iranian regime. Now, as Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program. Last year, Iran fired 300 ballistic missiles at Israel. Each of these missiles carries a ton of explosives and threatens the lives of hundreds of people. Soon, those missiles could carry a nuclear payload, threatening the lives not of hundreds, but of millions. Iran is gearing up to produce 10,000 of those ballistic missiles within 3 years. Now just imagine 10,000 tons of TNT landing on a country the size of New Jersey. This is an intolerable threat. It too must be stopped. Iran is now working on what it calls the new plan to destroy Israel. You see, the old plan failed. Iran and its proxies tried to encircle Israel with a ring of fire and to attack us with the horrible attack of October 7th. But the people of Israel, the soldiers of Israel, rose like lions to defend our country.
For years, the Iranian regime has called for the destruction of the State of Israel, planning and advancing concrete military plans to do so. Over the past few months, intelligence has shown that Iran is closer than ever to obtaining a nuclear weapon. This morning, the IDF began preemptive and precise strikes targeting the Iranian nuclear program in order to prevent the Iranian regime's ability to build a nuclear bomb in the immediate time frame. We have no choice. We are operating against an imminent and existential threat. We cannot allow the Iranian regime to obtain a nuclear weapon that would be a danger to Israel and the entire world. This operation is for our right to exist here, for our future and for our children's future. The State of Israel has the right and the obligation to operate in order to protect its people and will continue to do so. The IDF conducted significant preparations for this operation. We are well prepared, both in defense and offense, to defend ourselves. The IDF will continue to defend the State of Israel.
And Iran's Supreme Leader, Advisor and Guard Commander Ali Shamkhani has been reportedly critically injured in Israel's attack early on Friday, as per local media. Shamkhani, an advisor to Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, said in May during an interview with NBC News that Iran would commit to never making nuclear weapons and getting rid of its stockpiles of highly enriched uranium, and agreed to enrich uranium only to the lower levels needed for civilian use and allow international inspectors to supervise the process. Israel said it targeted Iran's nuclear facilities, ballistic missile factories and military commanders on Friday at the start of what it warned would be a prolonged operation to prevent Tehran from building an atomic weapon. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said in a statement later that Israel had unleashed its wicked and bloody hand in a crime against Iran and that it would receive a bitter fate for itself. And while Israel raided Iran, it also released a special infographic highlighting the regions it had struck on early Friday during its latest strikes. Take a look. Now remember, about 200 Israeli fighter jets took part in the strikes, hitting about 100 targets in Iran, as per the military spokesperson. And the map on your screens shows those 100 targets that were hit by Israel. Moving on, Donald Trump says he will negotiate with Iran. In a statement on Truth Social, he said that he will pursue diplomatic resolution to Iran's nuclear issue. Now, he went on to write, and I quote, "My entire administration has been directed to negotiate with Iran. They could be a great country, but they first must completely give up hopes of obtaining a nuclear weapon."
نیاوران الان صدای
All right, that's the statement that Donald Trump has made on Truth Social, suggesting that they could likely negotiate with Iran if Iran gives up its hope to become a nuclear-powered country. Another tweet that has come from U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said, we were not involved in strikes against Iran and our top priority is to protect American forces in the region. Israel advised us that they believe this action was necessary for self-defense. President Trump and administration have taken all necessary steps to protect our forces and remain in close contact with our regional partners. He further said that Iran should not target U.S. interests or personnel. That's the statement that U.S. Secretary of State has made in the light of the recent attacks. Now remember, other world leaders have also reacted to what Israel called a large-scale strike against Iran. Iran had vowed harsh response now, and as Israel appeared to now have intercepted about 100 retaliatory drones. Several top Iranian commanders have been killed. Oil prices have spiked and then eased a little bit amid fears of regional instability. The US has denied its involvement, and Donald Trump, the US president, said he wished to have a conversation and seek to return to nuclear talks with Iran. All right, Iran's elite Revolutionary Guard Corps has also confirmed that its top commander, Hossein Salami, has also been killed. Several children, according to Iran, were injured as a strike by Israel hit a residential area. About 200 Israeli fighter jets took part in the strike, hitting about 100 targets in Iran, as per military sources. And US so far seem to have denied any involvement in the matter. In fact, the International Atomic Energy Agency also said that there is no increase in radiation levels at the Natanz nuclear site, suggesting that one need not fear as far as nuclear radiation is concerned. Media reports also suggest that about 6 Iranian nuclear scientists have also been killed. On your screens right now, David Sling, Israel's air defense system, which has so far intercepted about 200 drones. It's capable of intercepting medium-range missiles and rockets. And Iran hasn't been successful in getting into and breaching the Israeli airspace or hitting back, at least so far. Moving on now, the red flag of revenge was raised as I mentioned, over Jamkaran Mosque in Qom following Israeli aggression against Iran. On your screens right now, hundreds of Iranian citizens gathered calling for revenge against those midnight attacks. All right, on your screens right now, we're looking at a red flag which was raised over the Jamkaran Mosque in Qom in the city of Iran following Israeli aggression against Iran overnight. Now, what we do know has transpired as far as early Friday morning hours is concerned. Israel launched airstrikes deep inside Iranian territory, targeting their nuclear and military infrastructure. The operation has now been officially termed as Operation Rising Lion, marking a dramatic escalation in a long-standing battle between the two nations. Now, what could possibly have triggered those Israeli strikes? According to Israeli officials, the decision to launch Operation Rising Lion was based on growing concerns that Iran was very close to developing a nuclear weapon. And Israeli Prime Minister, as you just heard a couple of minutes ago, confirmed that they targeted military operations to roll back Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. He further went on to suggest that the operation will continue at least for a few more days. In response, Iran said it will retaliate. It sent out a volley of drones that were intercepted by Israel before they could enter Israeli airspace. An Israeli army has also released a video of targeting the third Khordad air defense system with a projectile. On your screens right now, an air defense system was also attacked in Iran. All right, Israel has released multiple videos, one of which is currently on your screens at the moment. That video shows the Khordad air defense system, which was hit by a projectile. Remember, this was a covert operation which was on for a very long time now. And multiple air defense systems were targeted by Israeli forces. As I mentioned earlier, in retaliation, Iran launched over 100 drones towards Israeli territory, confirming that their military leaders have now been killed. Commander-in-Chief of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, General Hossein Salami, was killed in the attack. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has also issued a warning that Iran must agree to a nuclear deal. And there was also a 3D illustration released of the strike on Iranian regime's aerial defense systems in western Iran. Now, that image on your screens right now, detecting radars, surface-to-air missile launchers. The IDF also attacked Iran's air defense systems. All right, the proof of that attack that was furnished by Israel, one of which is currently on your screens. It's a 3D illustration of the strike on Iranians' aerial defense systems in western Iran. And IDF has released about a couple of videos now to showcase their might and the success of Operation Rising Lion. Shifting focus now to the Ahmedabad air crash that has resulted in all passengers dying on spot yesterday. It's one of the darkest chapters in India's aviation history. The Air India flight from Ahmedabad to London carrying 242 passengers and crew crashed immediately after taking off on Thursday afternoon. Barring one miracle survivor, no one escaped the crash. Former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani was among the 241 people who were killed. In a statement, Air India said that of the 242 people aboard, they can now confirm 241 fatalities. The crash is one of the deadliest worldwide since 2014, when a Malaysia airline jet was shot down over Ukraine, killing all 298 people on board. The Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner aircraft took off from Ahmedabad Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport, runway 28 yesterday. Seconds later, the aircraft plummeted into BJ Medical College hostel mess near the airport as over 100 students were gathered for lunch. A towering plume of smoke was visible from afar after the massive explosion. As per a DGCA statement, the pilots gave a mayday call immediately after taking off, signaling a life-threatening emergency, but did not respond to subsequent calls made by airport traffic control. Prime Minister Modi visited the crash site in Ahmedabad to assess the situation firsthand and held a review meeting. Mr. K. Ram Mohan Naidu said that an official investigation has now been initiated by the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau in line with international protocols. As per the rules, the first report must be filed within 30 days of the incident. My colleague Neeru is currently joining us live from Ahmedabad. Neeru, as far as the post-mortem is concerned, various family members have been now asked to provide their DNA so that the bodies can be handed over. How many bodies have now been handed over, Neeru?
See, as of now, the official confirmation that we have received, around 8 bodies have been handed over to the families. We are yet to receive the updated information from the administration and the hospital authorities. But as of now, let me tell you, they have received DNA samples of more than 210 deceased family members, and a few more are yet to arrive in the country. Many of them were British nationals, and that is why a number of relatives of the deceased, they are yet to arrive in the country. And the latest update that we are receiving, more than 210 DNA samples have been received by the hospital authorities to match, and the reports will take almost 72 hours once the samples have been collected from the deceased families or the relatives. And after that, the samples will be matched with the deceased. And let me also update you with the latest update that we have received is 12 bodies have been taken to the old trauma center of this civil hospital, and there the DNA samples will be matched with the samples that they have received from the family members, and later on the bodies will be kept in the cold storage. And this is the entire process. We have been watching this whole scenario at the civil hospital since morning, and the situation is extremely painful. The visuals are are actually very, very disturbing. The people who are arriving here to meet their loved ones, a number of relatives whom we spoke to, and they have been expressing their grief, their pain, and they are looking forward to the hospital authorities to hand over the body of their loved ones. And as of now, the visuals, the update that we have seen here at right outside this post-mortem room, you can see right behind me, this post-mortem room is there, and just few minutes back, almost 50 coffins have been brought here to the hospital to hand over the bodies of the deceased to their relatives. And as the time passes, more and more updates are surfacing, and more relatives are coming here to find the bodies of their loved ones. And let me also update you on this front that a number of families are yet to contact the hospital administration. There are almost like more than 30 passengers or the deceased ones who there is no update, or there is no.
All right, we seem to have lost the line there with Neeru, but she's telling us that about 8 more bodies, mortal remains, have now been handed over to the family members. About 200 people have come forward to give their DNA samples to identify their relatives and their family members who could have died in that crash. Now, the latest that we also know is that Gujarat ATS has also recovered the DVR in flight 171. Prime Minister Modi on your screens also visited the site of the crash. Home Minister was there, Civil Aviation Minister taking a stock of the situation. An official inquiry has now been set up into the matter. Prime Minister Modi also met with injured and the sole survivor of that crash. About 242 passengers who were on board, barring one, all have died in that crash. Right, my colleague Kumar Kundan was at the Ahmedabad Medical College, where the mortal remains of those who have died in that crash have been brought in. Let's take a look.
इस वक्त हम मेस में मौजूद हैं। ये वो मेस है जहाँ पे कि विमान सबसे पहले टकराया और टकराने के बाद बच्चे यहाँ पे खाना खा रहे थे। खाना खाने के बाद आपको यहाँ देखिएगा कि सबसे पहले यहाँ जो नज़र आ रहा है एक हिस्सा, वो हिस्सा जो विमान का जो टेल है, वो टेल यहाँ टकराया और टकराने के बाद वो सीधा विमान अंदर घुसा। लेकिन जो बच्चे यहाँ पे खाना खा रहे थे, ये आपको तस्वीर दिख रहे होंगे कि अभी भी यहाँ पे जो मेस है उसमें देखिए धूल है और धुआं है, और ये तस्वीर आपको बता रही है कि जो धुएं का गुबार है वो मेस से निकला नहीं है। जो पूरा का पूरा छत है वो ब्लैकिश हो चुका है, जल चुका है, और जलने के बाद ये तस्वीर जो आपको नज़र आ रही होगी, अभी भी धुआं है इस इलाके में, जो बता रहा है कि कितना ज़्यादा उस वक्त तबाही हुई होगी और उस तबाही के बाद की स्थिति क्या हुई होगी।